Hi everyone, this is Nathan with your fishing report from the Northeast. After the past week's cool down on Cave Run, lake water temperatures is around 77 degrees. Pay attention to cold fronts as they come in because these are great times to get out and target muskie. Focus on the backs of coves and flooded timber. Use a fast moving presentation during these times. Crappie are still biting. Focus on structures around 10 to 15 feet. Use your graph to your benefit. If you don't see any fish on the structure, move to the next pile. Over at Grayson Lake, bass are holding deep. Try using a Carolina rig and deep running crankbaits. Greenbow Lake is still producing some great bluegill and red ear. Focus on drop-offs using Popeye jigs tipped with waxworms. And up on the Ohio River, largemouth are being caught at the mouths of feeder creeks and on the grass beds on the main channel in the early mornings using topwater presentations. Well, that should do it for us here in the Northeast. Be safe out there and good luck.
This is Adam Martin with your Western District Fishing Report. Here at Kentucky and Barkley Lakes, water temps are in the mid-80s and water levels are down to 356.5, which is about 3.5 feet below summer pool. It's been brutally hot this week, which has kept most anglers off the water during midday, but things are going to pick up dramatically once that cold front hits this weekend. This time of year, the main thing that we watch is the migration of the shad from deep water to shallow water, and despite the temperatures, this migration has already begun. As more and more shad move shallow as temps drop, the bass and crappie will follow them. But for now, there are still good numbers of bass out on the ledges in 15 to 25 feet of water, and crappie at the same depths, but holding on brush piles and other cover. The best fishing by far is in the early mornings and evenings, which not only takes advantage of the cooler temperatures, but also takes advantage of the daily horizontal and vertical migration patterns of the zooplankton, which are one of the primary food sources for our shad. Now, catfishing is still very good, with fish still concentrated in or along the main channel, but lately the best bite has once again been for white and yellow bass. When you find a school of either, most anglers find that they can catch fish as long as they want to keep casting. The most productive technique is vertical jigging with a spoon or other type of blade bait, and it's a great activity for kids since it requires much less casting skill, and is also a great way to fill up the freezer with some future fish tacos. As always, if you decide to get out on the water, stay hydrated and always wear your life jackets and kill switches. Good luck.
This is Jeremy Shiflett with a fishing update from the Northwestern District. We're definitely in a summer lull right now. Air and water temperatures are high. We've had very little rain, and the fish and anglers are both over it. We're looking forward to a break in the weather that's supposed to follow the front coming in this weekend. Rough River Lake is at summer pool with base flow discharging into tailwater. Bass fishing is fair and better early morning, just before dark, and overnight. Try outside channel bends and steep rocky banks during the day, and creek mouths and flats after dark. Crappie fishing is fair as well. Look for fish on main lake brush and timber in the creeks, 12 to 18 feet deep. Hybrid striped bass fishing is still good. You may find a few fish in the jumps near first light, but you can also catch them trolling, crankbaits, swim baits, and Alabama rigs, 8 to 12 feet deep from the state park up to Axtell and Cannons Point. Nolan River Lake is also at summer pool with about 200 CFS discharge into tailwater. Like rough, fishing is generally slow right now, but bass and crappie fishing is fair. Look for spotted and largemouth bass in the jumps early morning on the lower lake. There's usually a flurry of activity for a very short time, and then the schools move on. Look for crappie on structure 12 to 20 feet deep in main lake pockets and timbered creeks and coves. White bass are hit and miss with a few jumps early and right at dark. Fishing has been pretty good on the state lakes and WMA lakes for the first and last couple hours of the day, but it's been very little action in between. Bass are generally 5 to 15 feet deep around structure. Use medium running crankbaits, spinnerbaits, and soft plastics. Bluegill fishing is good, with fish still active on spawning beds in 1 to 3 feet of water near overhead cover. Channel catfishing is also good in the evenings and overnight. Chicken liver, nightcrawler, shrimp, and strawberry chicken all work well. Please take your trash with you. Do not burn or leave for us to pick up. Try Carpenter Lake, Malzay Lake, Jacks Lake, Island Lake, South Lake, and Old and New Boy Scout lakes from the bank or by boat. And also try some jugs at Lake Malone, Ruff, and Nolan. Just remember to tag your jugs appropriately and to check them frequently. Be careful out there and good luck. Fall is coming.